am now about 7.5 months post-op, almost 7.5 months post-op from my tummy tuck and breast reduction. Things are going really well. I'm very, very happy with my results. So I wanted to give you a quick update, show you my scar, and also wanted to do it today because tomorrow I'm going in for my revision. Dr. Song is going to do a revision. He's not charging me. He considers it part of the original surgery. He's very generous like that. And there's nothing wrong. I have a slight dog ear on my right hip, and he wants to fix that. And then I have some slight dog ears on the ends of the under incisions for my breast reduction. So he was happy to fix all of that stuff under local in his office at no charge. But when we were talking, I was like, well, you know, he did a lot of liposuction during my procedure, and I think he did as much as he possibly could. I mean, there's a limit to how much they can do on a body at one time. And so one thing I've noticed since I've been finished, and again, it's not that I'm unhappy with it, it's just one of those things I'm like, well, if he's in there anyway, I have a little pockets of fat right on my love handle, and so my waist is slimmer, and then I have almost like it comes in, and then I have like a shelf before it comes down again, and I just want that to be a little bit more of a smooth transition between my waist and my hips. So I pointed that out to him and I said, well, if you're going to be doing the revision anyway, do you think you could do some additional liposuction on those two areas? And then I thought, well, and while you're at it too, if you're up here doing these dog ears, could you maybe do some little liposuction up under my arms so that, you know, I don't get those rolls over my bra? And to be clear, you know, my son made a comment the other day that I was quote unquote cheating, which kind of hurt my feelings. I work out with a trainer 3 times a week, really hard. I try and work out more than that on my own. I'm not that great about that, and we're just coming off a holiday weekend, so I try to eat right. I've been dieting pretty intensely the last couple of weeks. I've traveled a lot this spring, so that's been good and bad, you know, rich food and nice restaurants, but also a lot of activity. We've been hiking, we've been diving, we've been swimming. So I'm very active with my body, and I think I take pretty good care of it. So I don't feel like I'm cheating. I think at my age, I'm 42, these little pockets on my hips, you know, short of drastically losing about 50 pounds, which I don't even want to do, I don't think they're going anywhere. And the doctor doesn't see a problem with taking care of it. In fact, even though I've asked him to do more than just handle the dog ears, he's still not charging me for his time. Initially, he said he could do even the lipo under local, which made me nervous. And so I started doing a little research, and I talked to some ladies online who had had liposuction under local anesthesia, and they were all, every single one of them said it was like the worst experience of their life, that it was just agonizingly painful. And so I went back to him and I said, well, if I wanted to pay to go under general anesthesia, what would that cost? And he did a quote for me, and it was very reasonable. Less than $500, and I'm going, so, and that includes the supplies that I would have had to pay for anyway. So I am going to go under general anesthesia. I should be under for less than an hour. I'm paying the anesthesiologist for 1 hour, but he doesn't think it'll take that entire time. And he actually, even though he said he could do it under local, I think he was a little bit relieved that I am going to pay for the general anesthesia, because then he can be a little bit more aggressive with the liposuction. So I wanted to let you guys see my scar before he does that. The one other thing he's going to fix, and this is something that I did want him to fix, is that my original belly button piercing from before my tummy tuck, he couldn't quite get rid of it when he pulled the skin down. And I didn't realize it for the longest time. It was only a couple of months ago. There was a little divot there, and I didn't realize what it was. I thought it was just part of the scar, but as the rest of the scar was healing, it was still there, and I was like, what is that? And finally, one day, I realized it was my piercing, and it's still completely intact. I can actually stick an earring through there, and it's right on the top of my pubic bone, basically. So a really odd place for or just above my pubic area, really odd place for a piercing. Not a place I'd want to wear something. And sometimes it's kind of like an extra belly button. It kind of collects lint and stuff like that. So he couldn't get rid of it during the actual tummy tuck because he pulled it as tight as he possibly could, but now there's a little bit more play there, and he'll be able to reopen the incision right in the middle in the front and remove that and then restitch it. And it won't be anything like before. I'm not going to be stretched, and he's not touching any muscle. So it's an outpatient procedure at his office tomorrow in the afternoon, and then I'm planning on being home all day Friday, taking it easy over the weekend, and then my goal is to be back at work on Monday. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'm not going to show you my breasts. I will tell you I am really, really happy with them. I'm wearing a bra right now, but even if I wasn't, this is where they would be. They do not sag at all. It's amazing. They are magical. These are my American Eagle jeans, which are my current favorite pair of jeans. I still have all this back here. I'm happy with that. Not doing anything with that. I am still wearing compression. One thing that I am struggling with is that I'm still going through a lot of swelling. I pretty much swell every day to varying degrees. It's a lot worse if I eat like crap. It's worse if I'm overactive, but sometimes if I'm too inactive, it's also bad. If I literally spend the whole day sitting at my desk and don't get up and move at all, then I will also swell a lot. So it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. This compression garment is my current favorite. It's really soft. I don't feel like I need to wear anything underneath it. It does have boning in it, but it's pretty flexible. It's also really short, and you'll see that in a second. I'm really short-waisted, and a lot of these are just so long-waisted on me, they're always digging into my thighs. I did get a squeam a couple of days ago that does come down over my hips, and I figured I will need that for the compression when he does the liposuction here. But for right now, this is my favorite. This is made by Curvy, C-U-R-V-I, and I buy it on Amazon. This is the small medium. I started off with the medium large. And they have it in two different waist lengths. So this is the shorter one, and then there's also a longer one. So you can see how short it is. It doesn't impact me at all. And I'm actually started off with this one on it's got 3 options. And I started off on the loosest one, and I just recently was able to tighten it down to the second one. So that's my belly. I am a bit swollen right now. It's almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I did work out really hard this morning. So here's my swelling. I don't swell down low. I swell up high. Late in the day, I'll poof it out. It will end up being like that by bedtime. It's not that bad right now. But if I didn't wear any compression at all, it gets really uncomfortable. But I'm hoping that once I get to the 12, 18-month mark, that will finally go away. Let me see if I can show you my scar. It's looking really good. This is that dog ear that he's going to be taking care of. And then this is that pocket of fat that he's going to be liposuctioning there. This side doesn't really have a dog ear. It's actually quite smooth. He did a great job. I mean, he did a great job everywhere. They can't be helped all the time. But he's going to open that up anyway and take this pocket of fat. Since I am going to be under general instead of just doing lipo, he did say he's probably going to remove some skin on both sides to just kind of tighten up the shape and do some contouring. I think I can do this without completely. There's my belly button piercing from before. So this used to be at the top of my belly button, and now it's right at my scar line. The scar comes right across there. It's much darker right here. This is where, when I was healing, this is where it opened up, and this area was open for a lot longer than anywhere else, so it's a lot darker there. But it'll eventually fade like everything else is. So that's where he's going to remove that. There's a close-up of my belly button. I'm going to get this tattoo reworked. I'm not going to cover it up. I'm just going to kind of get it redone, maybe add some new elements to it, but brighten it up. I've had this, I'm 42, and I got this tattoo when I was 19. So it was already somewhat faded, and then stretching it out has faded it quite a bit more. But I'm going to wait till I'm completely done with everything. On the plus side, all of this is still numb, so it's a good time to get it worked on. But I love my belly button. I think it looks very, very natural, and the scar has faded completely. In fact, honestly, I think when we rework the tattoo, if he can go over and get the scar tissue to take the ink, you won't be able to see the scar at all anymore. It's certainly not dark. It's actually lighter than the surrounding skin a little bit. So that's where we are. I hope this has been helpful. I'm loving my tummy. I spent a week in the Caribbean a couple of weeks ago, and I wore a different bikini every day and had a ball. So